Hey there, and welcome to your practice. This one is a standing flow, and no props are needed for this one. We're going to get right to it by coming to the top of your mat into mountain pose. So, finding mountain pose, start to stand about hips distance apart, and maybe just take a moment to spread the toes there and notice the feet making contact with your mat. Your arms are out by your sides, maybe a little bit farther away out from your body, palms facing away from you. And so start to reach down through the palms, through the fingertips. Maybe you start to notice how you're standing. So see if you are putting more weight into the soles of the feet or maybe back into the heels. See if you can shift your weight slightly back into the heels. The tailbone draws down towards the mat. And so the spine wants to naturally lengthen here, bringing the shoulder blades back and down. And the head resting on the shoulders. Maybe you start to find a drishti, your point of concentration there. And just notice the breath. Maybe refine the breath a little bit by sealing the lips for the inhales and keeping the lips sealed for your exhales. And again, just feeling nice and rooted down. Maybe you can close down the eyes for a moment. And then whenever you're ready, start to bring some awareness back to the hands. And bring your hands to heart center. Taking a moment here, let's take an inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, step the right foot back. We're gonna come to a warrior two. So bending that front knee here, finding a warrior two, and then just keeping an eye on that left knee. So sometimes the hip wants to drift inwards, the knee wants to drift inwards. We want to keep that hip open. And so actively reaching through the arms, so reaching towards the front of the room or reaching towards the back. Let's see if you can keep the elbows nice and soft here. Tailbone is drawn down towards the mat. You can easily come back to some nice, slow, steady breaths. Begin to reach forward, and on an inhale, reverse your warrior. So left arm goes up, right arm can slide down that right leg. And maybe you're looking down towards the right foot or up at the left hand. So I find it easier to look down at my right foot, but if you're working on your balance, maybe you are looking up at the left hand there. Take an inhale here, and then on an exhale, come back to warrior two. And just notice the breath here. So we're just going to be easily flowing through some of these poses. Start to straighten that left leg. Take an inhale, reach forward as far as you can, and then exhale, tilt like a teapot to find triangle pose. So that left hand can grip around the ankle or the leg. My right arm is extended up towards the sky. And so I like to look down at my left foot here in triangle pose. I find it a little bit easier on the neck. You can get that stretch through the right side body. And so keeping the chest nice and lifted here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to slowly start to bend that left knee, come up into warrior two, but take your time here, moving nice and slow, warrior two. Again, reach forward, inhale, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, find extended side angle on this side. So left arm to left thigh, that right arm goes up and over. And so getting nice and long here through the right side body. So from the right fingertips all the way down to the right toes. And just noticing how this feels on the side. We're going to take an inhale to come back up to warrior two. And then start to bring some awareness to that right foot. We're going to turn the right foot towards the front of the room. Sweep that right arm towards the front of the room. So both arms are stretched out in front of me, reaching, they're parallel to each other. And so we're going to set up for a pyramid pose here. Start to bring hands to heart center. The hip points are shifted towards the front of the room. The left leg is straight and the right leg is relatively straight there, but feel free to put a little micro bend in both knees. So finding a pyramid pose here. Let's take an inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus arms. Come back to the breath. The chest is nice and open here. Take another inhale to reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Start to bend that right knee, step forward. Come to mountain pose again. Release the arms down by your sides. And come back to the breath. So just staying here in your mountain pose, feeling nice and rooted down through the feet again. Having the palms facing away from you, and so you're reaching down through the fingertips. Create that length in the spine again. Let's take an inhale, bring hands to heart center. And exhale, step that left foot back, warrior two. So my back is going to be turned to you here. That right knee is bent, and that right knee can come past the right ankle if that feels better in your body. Notice the tailbone drawn down towards the mat. My arms are nice and long here. So maybe you even gaze down the right arm, the right middle finger. And just start to notice how grounded down through the feet. Notice your feet rooted down to earth. Let's take an inhale, reach that right arm forward. We're going to reverse the warrior on this side. So that right arm goes up, left arm can slide down that left leg. Or maybe perhaps on this side it feels better to have the left hand kind of supporting the low back or sacrum area there. Just seeing what works best in your body. We want to feel a nice stretch along the right side of the body. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, start to come back to warrior two, moving nice and slow. Take a moment here for a few breaths. Start to straighten that right leg. Inhale, reach forward as far as you can. Exhale, bring the right hand to the leg, finding triangle pose on the side. So again, maybe you wrap the right hand around the leg. That left arm is extended up towards the sky. Chest is rotated out. And then maybe you look down at the right foot, or maybe perhaps at the left hand that's extended up, especially if you're working on your balance. I find it easier if you're just wanting to kind of just connect to the breath more, is to look down at that right foot. And so on an inhale, we're going to slowly start to bend that right knee again. Come back up to warrior two. Take your time there. Rebend that front knee. Come back to the breath. And then on an inhale, start to reach forward, reverse that warrior again. Then exhale, find extended side angle, right arm to right thigh. That left arm reaches up and over. So we want to pause here to come back to the breath, but also get nice and long through the left side body. So through the left fingertips all the way down to the left toes. And so maybe you again look down at that right foot, or perhaps the left arm extended up this way. Just exploring what feels good in your body there. And we're going to inhale, come back up to warrior two. Notice that left foot. We're going to turn the left toes towards the front of the mat. Bring that left arm forward. parallel to the right arm, so I'm reaching my arms towards the front of the room. We want to set up the legs for pyramid pose. So start to straighten that right leg. The left leg is straight. Toes pointed towards the front of the room. Hip points pointed towards the front of the room or the front of the mat there. Bring hands to heart center. Take a moment to notice here in your pyramid pose how the legs feel. Maybe again, just kind of spreading the toes to help with stability through the feet. See if you can keep that slow, steady breath. Let's take an inhale through the nose, reach up to the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows, find cactus arms here. And then pausing here for a few breaths. Take an inhale to reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Start to bend that left knee, step forward. Take an inhale, reach up. Take an exhale to forward fold. So bend the knees, forward fold here. Let's take an inhale for halfway lift. Nice flat back, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale for forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Extend and mounting, get nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. And this is where we wrap up the practice. I hope you have found this helpful. Namaste.